It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Now today we have the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Teresa Kulig, who is an assistant professor of Criminology and Criminal Justice at UNO. So Dr. Kulig, today's question is, what can be done to stop sex trafficking?
Thanks for the question, Brandon. I'm happy to chat with you today about what we can do to stop sex trafficking. The first key step is to identify potential trafficking cases by understanding what these crimes look like. Historically, trafficking was believed to be committed by strangers who engaged in extreme physical violence, even chaining victims to get them to engage in commercial sex. Now, this can certainly be experiences that happen, but it doesn't seem to represent trafficking in general. And we know now that these are complex crimes. Victims are oftentimes trafficked by someone they know, either a friend, romantic partner, or even a family member. And traffickers can use a variety of tactics to lure and control victims. So for example, this can range from hitting, kicking, punching, to manipulation or false promises, to threatening the victim or someone they know. The broader point here is that trafficking does not have to include physical violence, or it does not have to only include physical violence. Although anyone could be a victim of trafficking, we know that certain people are more vulnerable than others, including kids and young adults. Women and girls are also seeming to be particularly vulnerable to these crimes, as are people of color and members of the LGBTQ community. Victims also tend to have a lot of challenges in their lives. For example, victims may have experienced childhood abuse or neglect, homelessness, involvement in the child welfare system, substance issues, or even severe financial difficulties. Traffickers can recognize these vulnerabilities and use them to lure and control victims. Another key component for identification is being mindful of the signs of trafficking, or what it might look like if someone's being victimized. Examples of signs could include a change in temperament or behavior, someone who has a romantic partner who's significantly older, having a partner or friend who's controlling or monitoring who they speak to or where they go, or if the individual does not have access to their own money. Now, if you notice one or more of these signs, it doesn't mean that someone is being trafficked, but it could be an indicator that something's going on. Trafficking can happen anywhere, and it could happen to someone you know, a neighbor, or even a family member. So it's important to recognize the signs in your own community. And this is where we get to the next step, which is reporting trafficking that's identified to local police or the National Human Trafficking Hotline. If no one sees trafficking and no one reports trafficking, then it's going to continue. So we need to be able to identify trafficking so we can intervene. If you'd like to learn more about sex trafficking or other research on human trafficking at UNO, please visit unomaha.edu.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kulig, for sharing your expertise on such an important topic. Well, for our viewers at home, we want you to interact with UNO's experts. So if you have a question that you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link. I'm Brandon Axamit. We'll see you next time.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.